Hello and welcome to Brian's Got Game. I'm Brian, and today I got a game called Valley of the Kings Afterlife. Valley of the Kings Afterlife is a 1 to 4 player deck building game by Tom Cleaver and published by AEG. It can be played by itself or combined with the original Valley of the Kings, published in 2014. So the game has a few mechanics that are like no other deck builder, and it has a really cool theme. So let's check it out, and I'll show you how to buy cards from the crumbling pyramid, entomb the most artifacts, and one-up the pharaohs in Valley of the Kings Afterlife. To set up, give each player a tomb. This is a 3-player game, 3 tombs. Give each player Shopti, 4 Shoptis. It says in the top, 3 urns, 2 boxes of food, and 1 offering table. This is your starter deck. Everybody shuffles it and puts it down. Everybody starts with the same cards, so they can all start at an equal pace and be able to make it more fair during the game. However, it depends on how they play their cards. Then you set up the stock deck. This is the stock deck. It has 2s and 3s. On these, there are little 1s in the bottom. These ones have 2s and 3s. You shuffle the 2s and 3s and then place the 2s on top of the 3s. Then you lay out 3, and then 2, and then 1. This is the pyramid. Then you flip over another card. This is the boneyard. The first player is the latest player to been to a museum. You are now ready to begin. On a player's turn, they draw 5 cards, and then they can use each card as one of 3 actions. They can use it as money to buy something from the bottom of the pyramid. They can use its action, or they can entomb it. However, you can only entomb once per turn. So, let's say they want to buy something. They have 3, 3, 3, so it doesn't really matter. However, whenever they buy it, if you buy one on one of the sides, the one closest to it falls down. If you do the one in the middle, you get to choose. So, let's buy something. Let's use 3 and buy the ring. So they get the ring, and that goes to their discard. Those 2. Then they get to choose. Which one do they want to fall? That one. So then the top one falls accordingly. And then they have 2 left, and I could play an action, but I don't really want to. So let's entomb. I'm going to entomb the Shabti because you have 4 of them, now 3. When you entomb, at the end of the game, only the cards you entombed are counted for scoring. The number of cards, the more cards you have of one type, the more points you get for that type. The cards in the tombs, all of the starter cards, the white ones, are worth 1 point each. The rest of the cards are that number squared. So if you had 1, it's 1 point. If you had 2 oranges, you'd get 4 points. 3 greens, 9, and so on and so forth. So you want to get sets of cards so you can entomb them to get more points. The remaining cards after your turn are discarded. And then, at the end of the turn, flip over another one and put it on the top. Now, it is the next player's turn. They draw their 5 cards. Let's say they want to play a card. They're going to play their Shopti, swap 2 cards in a pyramid, or sacrifice a card. Whenever you sacrifice, you take it from whatever it says, your discard pile, your draw pile, your hand, or the pyramid, and you put it in the boneyard. There, nobody can buy it or play it. So, swap 2 cards in the pyramid. We're going to swap the ring and the sling. so they can buy the ring. They have 4. They're going to use these 3 to buy it. And they're going to use this to entomb. Then they choose what crumbles. Choose that to crumble. That comes down. And now it's the other player's turn. Another one is flipped. Play continues until the stock has run out and there are no cards left in the pyramid. And each player has had the same number of turns. The players count up the points in their tombs. Person with the most points wins. Okay, got my dad here for a parent's opinion. So, Dad, what do you think of Valley of the Kings Afterlife?
I really enjoyed Valley of the Kings Afterlife. I do really like deck builders. And this one had a couple of different unique mechanics to it. And so, again, I really liked it. It's a little bit different than the other deck builders we own. And so I thought we could show this one off.
The components are really nice. They have some kind of finish on the cards.
Yeah, the cards are a nice linen finish. The box is real sturdy.
The box is really sturdy.
And it's just well done. I think the art looks good, and the way that the graphic design is set up, the colors pop. So good components for this one.
Gameplay is pretty easy. I like how on the cards that you buy, it has the colors on it, so it can help you score and help you know which ones to buy, not to buy, to help with your strategic planning.
I also like on the bottom of the cards, there's kind of a little educational blurb, an explanation of what that item was really used for in ancient Egyptian times. So it's educational as well as a fun game.
There's a bit of strategy in there. When to buy, when to entomb, when to play your cards, when to play your actions, when to buy which ones, when. It's just a lot of thinking.
Yeah, there's a lot of actions on these cards, and to get those and string them together to maximize your buying power. That's really where this game shines. The Phase 2 cards are a little bit cheaper than the Phase 3, so that's why they keep them separate. Mm-hmm. But we also didn't mention in scoring, you only score the unique colors of the sets.
Yeah, so if you have like 2 bandages or 2 axes, you only count as 1.
Yeah, so that way, if you're playing with multiple players, your strategy could be to buy all of one item so that that player doesn't get it, or there's enough to go around so that everybody could start collecting the red ones or the green ones or the orange ones if they so choose.
It's pretty easy for kids. Like I said, there's a bit of thinking, but it's still a really fun game.
Yeah, it's just your average deck builder as far as the rules. You draw 5 cards, you play 5 cards. But it's how you play the 5 cards. So I think this one is for a little bit older group. You wouldn't be playing with this with the real little ones. But again, I think the theme is really cool, and I think that the older kids would really like reading about those things and getting into ancient Egypt as a theme.
Overall, I really like this game. The components are really nice, linen finish, sturdy box. The artwork is wonderful. I love it. The gameplay, it's fun. It's easy. There's a bit of strategy. It's pretty easy for the older kids. I really like Valley of the Kings.
Yeah, what I like about Valley of the Kings Afterlife is the crumbling pyramid. So that's something very unique that I haven't seen in a deck builder. And there's a lot of strategy to that too. You can only buy the ones on the bottom, right?
Mm-hmm, but you don't know which ones you want. And you want to stop the other players from buying the ones you want by the crumbling.
Yeah, and they kind of tumble down so you can see what's coming up. You can also use cards to swap locations and different types of things. There's other cards where you get to pick the highest valued one, and then your opponent gets to pick the lowest valued one.
Or you replace the card with another one and you get that card instead.
So that was very unique mechanic, and it also fits very well with the theme, right? It's a pyramid.
Pyramid, crumbling.
So that I really like. The other thing is how the scoring works. So the entombing. Once you entomb a card, you can't use it anymore. But those are the only ones that get scored. So there's this kind of tug of war going on. Do I want to use my cards for more buying power in the actions, or do I eventually want to tuck them away and score them? You can't wait till the very end to do that because your opponents are going to get there first. So
and you can only do 1 per turn.
Yeah, but you also don't want to entomb early on, as you learned in one of the games, because then you have no buying power, especially once the Phase 3 comes out, because those are really expensive.
Crap, 9
They
and
cost 8 through 10, some even more. And if you have entombed all of your cards, then you don't have enough money, you can't buy anything. So overall, very fun game. I want to keep playing it some more and really get into it and figure out, what my strategy is and when to entomb, when to play. Do you like to use the artifacts or the unique items or the mummification cards? Those very, very, very deep into the theme. Very neat game.
And then the one-player thing is a bit different from the
so
multi.
you can play solitaire, and how you win solitaire is you get one of every card
Or
in your
this,
team.
yeah. Well, this amount. Like, you have to get a perfect score. You have to get, like, different numbers of different types in your tomb.
And I think that's the base way to play solitaire. There's another more advanced way to play. And also, you can combine this version of Valley of the Kings with the original one, and then you can expand and play 5 and 6 player games, which is also kind of cool. The cards don't duplicate; they're all unique, but it is fully functional and combines and integrates well with the original game.
Thank you for watching Brian's Got Game. Please like us on our Facebook page, tweet us at Brian's Got Game, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Brian. This is my dad. See you next time.